Okay, we have deep avoidance to do. Tonight we have a big, we're good. We got to make sure you're taken care of. We have deep avoidance to do. And in honor of anyone, or just to say thank you to Hashem for sending us our Rebbe. Okay. So let's keep on singing before we get to, it's also part of the avodah. Let's keep on singing strong. It's so good to be together. Chaim Tov Melishah. And thank you to all the Chevra online. Thank you to Israel for running everything smoothly. And to all of our Chaverim and Chaverot that are joining us right now. Okay. They make brachas on what's over here. This is just good. Shkoya. Thank you, Baalei Habayit. Mishpachat Honigman. Israel, come have something to eat. Besides that, yeah. Okay, Chaim, there's so much to connect to tonight. Amen.
How much was it need to be? The rough side.
I saw today there were so many different posts between all the politics. There were some posts about the Rebbe. I would say like this. Between all the posts about the Rebbe, there were some mentions of politics. That's a much better way of looking at it. Between all the Meshigas, but today's the Rebbe's day. Someone said 27 years ago, a Rebbe that didn't have Hasidim died physically. That a Rebbe that had soldiers passed away. This is a Rebbe that had soldiers. Has current Mamash Achshav, has Chayalim, has soldiers. I think that one of the times that I was most empowered as a child was after my summer in Gan Yisrael, Camp Gan Yisrael, and Chabad of Simcha Monica. I had two shluchim show up at my house. I'm 67 years old. They showed up at my house. It was after bedtime, and they came over, and they had achitas, and they brought Nagelwasser, and I was enlisted in Tzivas Hashem. I think it was the first time, if I remember as a child, that I felt empowered, proud to be part of something bigger than, what an impression. I'm one kid out of thousands and thousands and thousands. So this is like what we're dealing with. Hey, what we're dealing with is, I just mentioned the word Camp Chabad of Simcha Monica. It's like, I'm just one of so many of all of us. And that enlisting, that keeps on going stronger and stronger. So I want to sing tonight for all the children that are growing up on the Rebbe. Your children they just got a dot. They just saw one of the dollars tonight. Our children, Baruch Hashem, they keep on doing such an amazing job of making sure that the Rebbe's memory is chai v'kayim la'ad, because it's not a memory. Some things that you have to work hard to, keep their memory alive. And some things it's not about a memory, it's just about what's happening right now. So let's keep on singing a little bit, get this, what's happening right now, more and more chazak. And I just have a request, those of you that are here, those that are listening, to not compromise at all tonight, to go as deep as you can with each niggun, okay? Each niggun tonight, to go as deep as you possibly can. With every kavanah that you have in your heart, to just allow yourselves to be there with it, with every single niggun. And I was telling the chaver this morning in Shir that last night when I was watching one of the pieces of footage of the Rebbe, I checked to see if I had the video on 2.0 speed. I thought it was, by the way, I also found out that you don't ever listen to WhatsApp messages anymore on 1.0. It's okay, I don't need it. No, I know.
I should have anything on fire, I'm still listening to your emotions. I'm fine for that.
I also, I
I
never,
know a guy who listened to him on 2 times. It sounds like he's speaking regularly.
he doesn't.
Oh,
Imagine
right,
what it is on
right.
1.
So I thought the video I had of the Rebbe last night was on 2.0 speed because I never saw such speed of a clap. Like it looked like it was. So, oh man, we gotta go there. This is the Shem. Yeah, don't be.
Don't
Last night of the calendar to be shy. Ezer Hashem Yishbach. L'chaim Tov L'Shon. L'chaim Luz.
I just got a Me'akana video from Stewie with prophecy.
This is prophecy. What we're doing here is prophecy. Okay, let's sing a bit more.
You can read your shul, you'll end up on Shabbat if you watch this.
Okay, so we're going to sing some Nigunim that, even though it's Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur Nigunim, tonight is a Bechina of every Yantiv. So all the emotions are on the plate. Everything's on the plate. But this year, I can't wait for, even though the year has passed so fast, this year we're crawling to Elul and Tishrei, like for dear life. For dear life. So, what do they say? The Rosh Hashanah is Tammuz is Manei Tshuva. That's Rosh Hashanah. Tammuz. Manei Tshuva mitmashmashim uvayim. You can already smell Tshuva. When Rosh Chodesh Tammuz hits you, like it's around the corner. And then Av is Rosh Hashanah. Elul Ba. Elul is right around the corner. So that's why, even though like all hatchalot, some usually are kashut. All beginnings are a little bit hard, but it doesn't have to be that hard if the working on the psichas halev, an opening of the heart, and really he's kashus to the tzaddikim tonight to be tzaddik about tzaddikim. When you hang on to the tzaddikim for dear life, and not as a b'diavad but as a lechatchila, the hatchalot don't have to be that hard. That entry into the gate of tshuva that we all want so badly doesn't have to be so hard. So this, some nigunim, the Babich that they sing, Shana Yom Kippur, I don't know, to me, and I think to all of us, they're the gateway to everything dear. I grew up on this thing and I didn't know it was Lubavitch name. I grew up as an Israeli lullaby. It's like an Israeli lullaby with different words. It's from Neli Yom Kippur. Die, 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 Maya, Maya, da, 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 Maya, Maya, Cheskel. Wow.
He just told me.
I'm Amin. Chesed from Bnei Brak. Chaim Cohen. What's that son? That's me. We gotta get Chesed with Chaim. Chaim with Rafa is a yofi. Chaim. So I want to share something very, very strong that I was thinking about all morning because it started off in the morning shir. But I'm just warning you that Kacha, 16 years ago today, I met this Yid. 16 years ago today. Gilmore Town was in Melbourne. And I'm gonna smash this guitar through your skull if you don't pour your heart out verbally in a bit. So really lachatz. It's not like what's that? Which
upstairs and
right? Oh my God! What a room! The concert. No one was there because they all went to the Fabrengen. No, you left me also. What are you talking about? I didn't know. I come to Melbourne, first concert I ever have there. Friday Motzei Shabbos. It's me and a bunch of came in, and the Chevra left because they went. The Rav from Rehovot was there that year. Rebbe yeah, he was there that year. But I don't remember what I said.
You said that all the other rappers come to competition. I like to collect money. They come by. It's just
come to give. Still is. Still is. So the Chaim to the wolf also. To our shots on happy anniversary, Zev and Kara. So I'm just so happy to be with you and everyone here. Damn, that's good. What a simcha. All right, what a simcha. So this morning we were learning like this with the women. Something really, actually I didn't know where the source was, and yes, actually Miriam found the source of what we were learning. I didn't have the exact source. She found it after Shir. She sent it to me. You know, the Rambam has, everyone knows the Rambam has two major works. The Rambam has Mishnah Torah, which is, you know, halachic guide. And we all live without the Rambam, without the Mishnah Torah. I don't know what Yiddish, what would Yiddishkeit even be? What would we know of Yiddishkeit? It would be very, how would the Shulchan Aruch be the Shulchan Aruch? How would anything be anything if it wasn't at the Rambam to do it? So the Rambam has Mishnah Torah, and the Rambam also has Moreh Nevuchim, the guide to the perplexed. So if there was one, if you would think that, you know, where would the Rambam choose to get mushy, a bit more fluffy, so you wouldn't think it's Mishnah Torah. You would think, if anything, it'd be Moreh Nevuchim, guide to the perplexed. So there's a sikha, we learned this years ago. We learned this in shul years ago. There's a sikha where the Rebbe, on this parsha, he goes in Mishnah Torah. He speaks about the halachas of Paradum, and he says, if you want to learn anything about how to wait for Mashiach, learn the following halacha from the Rambam in Mishnah Torah on Paraduma. Why? Because the Rambam there gives a list of all the Paradumas that there were until now, and that the last Paraduma, I think it's the 10th, will be with Melech HaMashiach. Now, it's Mishnah Torah. It could have ended right there. The sentence could have ended right there. Where was the Rambam add a few more words in the Mishnah Torah, in the halachic work? The Rebbe points out that he adds something like something like that, some kind of lashon, that kind of like lashon tachanunim. Like he puts a little mushi tefillah when he just mentions a side point and a sikha. The sikha was about how many paradumas there are, or there have been, or there will be. But the Rebbe says, you think this is stam? The Rambam's just like letting us know this is what he had like a mushy attack that he had to like throw in a few mushy words saying, oh yeah, Levi should be revealed soon, that last paraduma with Melech HaMashiach. So the Rebbe says there in a sikha of such a beautiful point that whenever Rambam's showing us that whenever a Jew learns about anything that has to do with redemption, it must be meluveh, escorted with a yiddel's cry for Geulah. Even the Rambam in a halachic work like Mishnah Torah. We don't learn about Geulah like it's a topic, like it's a subject. That's not how we learn Torah. It's not how we learn about Geulah. You can learn a lot of things like that without the need to kind of like make a beautiful tefillah out of it. When a yid even mentions the word Mashiach, it's got to be escorted with a cry, with the crefts. It must be escorted with the crefts. Recently in shul, we have this one of my dear friends who moved to Efrat recently, and he's going to be moving closer to the neighborhood soon, Be'ez Hashem. So he gives a nice gesund krechts during davening. Oh, yes, very good. Right? You know what I'm talking about. You see?
I don't look behind me, but like
You don't need to look behind you. There's only one guy that's doing that. Middle of davening. Oh, it's like a middle of sound. And I feel like when the Rebbe says, look at the Rambam, he's writing halacha, and he's mentioning Mashiach. Mashiach comes yad b'yad with the kreft, just screaming it out, screaming. That has to be part of the way you talk about Geulah. So this morning's sikha that we learned was just part of a sikha. The Rebbe was pointing out that if you ask every single Jew, do you believe that Mashiach will come? And almost everyone says yes. It's like whatever. That's what we know. It's what we do. We know it's one of the Ikarim of the Rambam. We know a Jew is supposed to wait for Mashiach, and it's what I believe. One of the things I believe. But if you ask a Jew, do you believe that Mashiach could actually walk through the door right now at this given moment? The Rebbe says suddenly it starts getting weird in the room. He says in Hebrew he says I don't know what the word was in Yiddish, but in Hebrew he says הרגשה מוזרה ותימהון. So it's like an astonishing, that's the one with timbon, like a shocking kind of vibe, like or muzara, like I believe Mashiach. Do I think he could actually walk into the room right now before Mamish? I don't know, not so much. The Rebbe says, how could it be that we know we believe in the coming of Mashiach, but how could it be that the distance between I believe in the coming of Mashiach and that it could actually be right now is kevnechak shamayim va'aretz. It's like the difference between heaven and earth. Where is it? Where's that distance? Where did things get lost in translation? You're the Shaiva, right? It's a good question. Unless in this room, I mean, I'm sure the vibe already is. Of course, Mashiach can walk in here right now. It wouldn't be shocking to anybody, but we're trying to create a mitzvah that in the world, let's start with Am Yisrael, it wouldn't be weird for people to feel that if Mashiach walked in the room, no one would be shocked.
You'd already be sitting.
Is that pointing fingers?
It's possible.
So it's like this, the Rebbe says. When no pressure, Yisrael.
He's one donkey away.
So like this. The Rebbe says in that Sikha that when you don't talk about something so much, then when it's brought up, even if it's something that you believe, but you don't speak about, it's not part of your normal conversations, the first feeling is going to be a weird, distant vibe. He says, the Rebbe says, that's fine. The reason why you say you believe in Mashiach, but it would still be weird for you if Mashiach would actually walk in the room right now, because it's not really like what we speak about. It's not part of the conversations. It's still not part of the regular conversations of the Shabbat day. It's still not an ikar in the way that we masanech our children. But once it be the talk that we talk, just like today, I mean, who talked more about, what do we talk more about? Size of Bennett's kippah or geula? Right? Like the shtus of the shtus could be Bennett's the highest, the lowest. But there's a concept that's geula, it's redemption. Until that becomes mainstream of conversations, it'll still be like a foreign thing. Do you believe Mashiach can come in here right now? It'll still be far. So the Rebbe, I mean, I want to find the video or the audio, because I'm sure the Rebbe was crying when he screamed, because it looked like he was screaming it. Just by reading it, you could hear his tears screaming it. I don't have it in front of me, but it must be the vibe of that sikha was, Yidlach, everyone has to do cheshbon. He says cheshbon din tzedek aliba de nafshe. That's what the Rebbe said. Everyone has to do. I don't even know how to say those words in English. Cheshbon din tzedek aliba de nafshe. That means you got to have the most serious, sincere, self-soul accounting of where Mashiach is, where the talk of redemption is in the tip of your tongue. Regardless if you understand the whole Zach or not. And obviously, one of the things that make this, and this is what we're doing Shabbos afternoon, we're trying to do, is that once it becomes part of your learning, you usually think and talk more about what you're busy learning. It's the way it usually happens. So that's why, and this hasn't spread yet. We have, learning Rambam, Hilchos Melachim, and learning all the sugyas that deal with Malchus, Beis David, and Geula. The Rebbe was pushing it, because you are what you learn. You talk what you learn. What you learn is what you end up thinking about more. So the learning, the normal talking about, like everything that's in our consciousness. Tonight's the night of achlatas. Tonight's the night of decisions. It's the night of like saying, even though it's not our birthday, I don't know if it's anyone's birthday in this room. Yeah?
Yours as much as anniversary.
It's our anniversary, so we could say like this. Just like on a birthday, I have an achlata, I make a decision, whatever it was, but now I have class, I get this extra strength for my birthday to take on something. And like the PSS and Rebbe says, he says that if you don't write down every year on your birthday, remember we learned this in the name of Shabbat, a yid has to write down every year on their birthday where they aspire to be, what they want to grow. If you don't have anything like that written somewhere, and you don't have any she'ifot, you don't have any goals, then birthdays are just years that pass by, and they don't they don't and they don't have any effect on our lives. So 27 Gimel Tammuz 26 Gimel Tammuz have passed since Gimel Tammuz Tafshin Dalid. And for some people in the room, they weren't even alive in Gimel Tammuz, the Gimel Tammuz. But we know that Gimel Tammuz, we know that Gimel Tammuz opens big gates for people to really make afatas, make decisions, and to go deeper inside. So one of the decisions we can make is that the topic of Geula, the topic of redemption, is something that's more on the table. It's more at the core of our conversations. So I heard Reb Shlomo say, he took the Rambam a step further. Reb Shlomo said, not a step further, but a different kivun. He said, if someone says to you, do you believe in Mashiach coming? And you say, absolutely. But then you ask them, how do you think Mashiach's going to come? And you say, oh, I have no idea how. So Reb Shlomo said, based on the Rambam, it means you don't really believe in the coming of Mashiach. Mashiach's not just a concept. Mashiach is an inyan of like what we're trying to do. We're trying to get somewhere, right? So Reb Shlomo says, according to the Rambam, when someone asks you, you believe in Mashiach, you say yes, and they ask you, well, how is it going to come? The Yidla has to say, I believe in the Kedusha of Am Yisrael, that the generation that is in front of me right now, yesh bekocham laviat HaMashiach. Emunah beviat HaMashiach, emunah b'kedushat Am Yisrael. Emunah in the coming of Mashiach is emunah in the Kedusha of Am Yisrael. That's already a much higher decision to believe in than having it more the top of your Shabbos table. That the Am Yisrael that I have today, that I'm part of today, that I see today, that's the Am Yisrael that can bring Mashiach. Shlomo said that is emunah in the coming of Mashiach. Saying I believe in it as this esoteric concept, and I don't really know if we could do it or not. It means that your concept of Mashiach, like the Rebbe said in the Sikha, it has nothing to do with my avar, it has nothing to do with my hoveh, and it has nothing personal to do with my atid. It has nothing personal to do with my past, present, or future. But in emunah, the basic level of emunah is that the Am Yisrael that I see in front of me right now, we, to quote a former president of the United States, yes, we can. We can. What a tikkun would be for those words, for that slogan. Yes, we can. Yes. Who we have in front of us right now, we mamish can. So I want to make a l'chaim right now to our door, to our generation, especially to our generation here in Eretz HaKodesh. The most beautiful Yidden ever. The chavra that are touring the mountains with you or stuck in some dungeon in the Midrash of Ben Yehuda for the last 3 years, or the chavra, Chezi's neighbors in Bnei Brak. All the chayt says, Kokach Lam Shaneh. Ani ma'amin b'viat HaMashiach. Ani ma'amin b'kedushat Am Yisrael. And I believe that the way that I can believe in everything I said more and more is if I just allow the Rebbe's words to continue to penetrate my heart and soul, the netzach netzachim, and I could never get enough of it. Chaim Tov Neshama.
So why isn't it more spelled out?
We made a hachlata tonight. It is.
In the Torah, why isn't it?
You gotta learn.
It's like it's not spelled out like plus the Shabbos or any of the other stuff.
The Rambam says like this, based on your question. He does spell it out, but then he says, I just want to, we learned this 2 weeks ago. He says it is spelled out, but despite that, even everything I said doesn't necessarily have to be the way it's gonna be, but you'll know it when it happens. It doesn't really help you, but that's what the Rambam says. You'll know it when it happens. You won't have.
All right, Tati, this is Pesach. And this baby. Anybody can bring it. This baby is sleeping. All right, Tati.
Yeah, let's craft a little bit. choose a niggun before you say something. It's important to acknowledge. I think we are a generation of orphans. We're orphans, and it's harmless. We want to draw from the well. There's
there's also an akuda if you feel connected, if you feel connected, and you can't ignore that pain either. We're all this. Actually remember as a kid, I remember the Mutam was very clear. You talk Korea. So you talk Korea with kids. You talk Korea. How would you? And then you go from a person to an idea. What's a person? There's something like it's a lot. It's a movement. Something is happening. That's it. Rebbe became like people become awesome, become bigger, what they were. So in some ways also smaller because a child who's involved and who wants to see his father, he wants to know, you want to have something you can see, touch, feel, talk to guide you and to tell you to. So I think it's important to hold that as well. To go to acknowledge that place as well. And so Rabbi Yonah, it's also moving times, for example, so that's the passed away in 1991, the last words that came out of his mouth, the son go to Zion, which was the week when telling the Commission was to pass the sort of using the army, the Russian army, Commission was to Australia. I think it's the last words that came out of his mouth, but he passed away a couple of times. So, there's a lot to say, a lot to be said, but one thing, for praying on Shabbos, the lady is over here. One thing that I was thinking about a lot is this experience of dollars and all the Torah and everything. So much you can say, so much people learn. But one thing that keeps repeating itself in the stories and the reflections and this experience that people have told us. And this description repeats itself over and over again. And it goes something like this. I waited all day. And when the Rebbe looked at me, in that second, he saw right through, he saw my soul, he saw my heart. People say that at that moment, I felt that I was the only thing that existed. It's a line of people. You don't know what it is to wait anymore. Like, no one had phones there. You were waiting in line, because that was what we were doing for the day. And it wasn't that glorious and beautiful. People pushing, it was protected. People got in before you. You went in the morning, you camped out, you waited on one day for 1 second. What were you waiting for? And you waited to be seen. And you waited to be seen like that. And the experience of being seen was so profound that it changed a person's life. So that so much comes to mind. And what we really think about is that to have the Rebbe's eyes means you see everyone for what they are. Someone can see the only thing that matters. The truth is that all of us are we're the only thing that matters in the moment that we exist, and the Rebbe could let you feel that for 1 second. You have to change your whole life. The whole life could change in 1 second if someone just seeing it. And I think that connects to this idea of the rule that I was saying. Are we ready to see ourselves and to see each other in that way? why was it so awkward? Because no one wants to get to the Nakuda, because if we did, then we had to do something about it. We were seeing, or we saw ourselves, or we saw our friends, then we had to go ahead and change the whole damn world until it went down. We didn't stop until it happened. Why would we want to do that? It's so uncomfortable. And at the moment of Gula is when we realize that everything that's happened and will happen that makes sense. That's Gula. The Holocaust and all the suffering, all the pain, everything. Right now, everything makes sense because I'm here and this is what and I was also thinking today, I was watching the sun come down, and I think, I don't know where it comes from, but I think the day that we were sure I know the sun in the sky, that was Gimel Tammuz, right? Where's it come from? Was that Gimel Tammuz? So there's this power on Gimel Tammuz to hold the sun high in the sky. Well, what's this thing? Is that to say, Yeshua knew that there was a battle to be done, the sun could not set until it finished what it had to do, and the whole world could doesn't matter what's the sun has to stay high in the sky. It's something it's cool. I'm like, it's a Torah, there's something, there's a sun. It doesn't matter. I have to hold it in the sky until I finish doing what I have to do. Yeah, and but I mean, we could bring the ends off, but I'm saying,
Go.
but I want to give a bracha, and I want to also really, I think that's if we could look for 1 second to one other person, the way the Rebbe looked at one person in 1 second, we would take thousands of people more than how it would be that a person could look at other people. It's that way for 1 second. We didn't communicate anything. We watched videos. Just it was like mechanical, like mechanical. It was just open. That is cool. People were lining up to feel that. And when you have it, it's very good. So it's a hard day. It's also a day that you can draw a lot from. And I think that that's it. We just need to give each other that. If we give each other that, we'll be okay. Once it's not even such a big ask, it's 1 second. 1 second where you don't need to take anything. With your eyes, with your heart, and remember, we were talking about Shabbos. I'll just share the story again. It's so beautiful. It's just encapsulates this idea. There was a supermodel, I think, Miss Israel, who came to the Rebbe for dollars as well. You know the story? Same thing. So it was a big scandal because how could a Rebbe see a supermodel? Yeah. Could you imagine today, Miss Israel come to one of the Victoria? She came, everyone came, and he looked at her and he said, Sheker Achem, Ve'ever Le'echi, Yishei Bas Hashem, V'yitisara. He looked at her and he said, in beauty, the outer beauty should be a reflection of the inner. He wasn't taking it. She was beautiful, so you could see that. Didn't need anything from that. Also, with see something beautiful, something happening, whether it's in the body or in the fantasies or whatever. Sadi can just, she's beautiful. So you can see that, and you can talk to that, and honor that, and also in that place bring out what she needed to do, which is to be a mirror for what's happening inside and outside. So I feel like we miss having a Rebbe in the world, someone who could, someone who could see us, and someone who is a place where we can be seen. It's one thing that I can take from this day and from see each other, I think that will be the be through so much. It doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. That moment to be there. So she walked in the store. Probably just been one of our friends who was waiting for us. We should really be good friends to each other.
Oh man.
Husband, father, and children. It's not that hard. It's actually not that hard. Not that hard. What? It's Israel. We should be useful. You know what it is? You know what it is? It's okay. Whoever you are, it's just fine. The Rebbe loved everyone. We didn't need anything from anyone. We want you to do it for yourself. That's why Shlomo, that's why I said like I don't remember like every training I went to. Saying when you said that, was that 16 years ago? It really touched the place because you're thinking everyone's always in business. Do you know what I mean? Every interaction. What's the angle? What's the deal? What's your sell? What's your pitch? That is not what we need. That is not what we need. That's not what you want from a friend. That's not what you want from a husband. That's not what you want from a wife or a father. You didn't need anyone. You actually didn't even want to be the Rebbe. You actually would have been probably a lot better off, a lot healthier if you never took it. It's like, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. So they did it. They didn't need anything from him. So it's just for us. So it's for us. So,
We had a midwife deliver our precious son at home, his last birth. His name is Nachman. And Nachman Shirishon. And he and the woman that came to deliver, she was an amazing person. But I didn't really think that the following would happen in our conversation with her when we first met with her. She didn't look like someone that would tell us the following thing. And it really relates to what you were saying right now. You're on it, right? You're on it?
Cheers, visit.
So she said to us, she saw a picture of the Rebbe in our living room, I think. She said, "Oh, you also," it's something like, you're also into Rabbi Schneerson, something very tummy, very like not at all what I was thinking. I said, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, of course." Like, what's the? So she said, "You know," but it's like it came out of such left field. She said, "You know, yeah, we saw each other once." She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I carry with me in my wallet the only moment I saw him, that he looked at me. Somehow, like many stories, some French left or whatever it was, but mamish what you said." She said she can't explain it till today, but she was standing in front of someone that was looking at her from all four dimensions. She was clear to her. He's looking at her from the front, sides, top, like I couldn't tell if she was saying she was looking at her Yehudule, whatever it was, but it seemed, so I wanted to understand what she was saying. She said, "I stood there and he was looking at me as if he was there, and there, looking at me." And it lasted only 2 seconds. But that moment, someone then found the picture of it, gave it to me. It's the only thing I've always kept in my wallet forever. She delivered our son. And she felt completely like it says about Sholosh Regalim, Sholosh Pamim Bashana, Yera'eh, Kos Kolcha. The simcha of Sholosh Regalim was so high because each person around him, bless you, felt Yera'eh. He felt that he was seen, felt that someone saw him. The closest we've ever had to Sholosh Regalim really was standing on that line. Because everyone that waited there, anyone, Miss Israel, you reminded me of another story that I would never. I mean, we're here already. Why not? It's for ring. We have to have a l'chaim, but we'll not say. This is not a simple story. The Abter Rebbe was once receiving Kabbalah's Kam, Pidyon Nefesh. People were giving funds. And online, the Abter Rebbe was then it came the turn for a prostitute. To the Abter Rebbe. She puts her money. She puts her money on the table, and the Gabbai whispered into the Abter Rebbe, "You know where this money came from, right?" So the Abter Rebbe was like, sorry." So she moves it back in front of him, and she said, "God didn't ask me where I got this money from. Why are you asking me where I got this money from?" And I have no idea what to make of that at the end of it. So, but tzaddikim could handle, and God didn't ask me where I got this money from. Why are you asking me where I got this money from? I felt like by the Rebbe, the biggest portion in the world could be that no one asked them, are you on the level to come and see the Rebbe? No one asked them. No, there was no, was there a check? Like, did you have to fill out a checklist, fill out a form? Who's willing to stand 8 hours on Eastern Parkway, sometimes in the freezing cold in February, Oh, you have to fill out the form, and if you follow these credentials, then you're on the level to wait all those hours. No one has to fill out a form in order to be seen. That's what I was getting from what you were saying. So I saw, I feel like I only saw an image of a melech once in my life. It's from one of the videos. And it was a moment where it was almost, you ever look at something and it was so holy that you want to turn away because you feel like it's not for you to see? Ever happened to you? You see something so holy, or you listen to a song, it's so intimate that you're like, it's too deep. My wife and I felt that last week when we were listening to Eviat Abana just came out with a new album, and one of the songs in the album is so chodrani. It's so it's so personal that you're like, I don't know if I should be listening to this. It's too revealing. So there was one moment where I saw a video from if you subscribe on the app, the Gem app, you get like for like $11.99 for a month, you get every single video that they have on their whole massive catalog. You could sit there for mamish nonstop, just all day long. We've done it a few times. You can do like weekly things, you can do monthly, you do the monthly, you have a whole month of pounding away. There's one niggun that I wanted to sing now, and I want to sing it in memory of someone who for me was one of the biggest Hasidim of the Rebbe, and that was Reb Shalom. And he sang this niggun all the time. And when I saw the video of the Rebbe singing, he didn't even sing it, he stopped singing in the middle, and it looked like Atzilus was katan. It was almost, I had to stop watching it. I stopped watching, I turned it off. It looked like it's not something that should be seen in this world. You can't imagine if I'm experiencing that off of my iPhone about 45 years after it happened. How come people didn't expire when they were sitting in that room, experiencing it live? And I always wondered also who really saw the Rebbe. Everyone, the Rebbe saw everybody. Who saw the Rebbe besides his wife? His mother and his father, but who saw the Rebbe? So let's start with seeing a glimpse of ourselves. And with this niggun, I feel like with Shalom, everyone knows that it's Shabbos table knows this niggun. You always got a sense, you always got a taste of who you were through somehow. That's what I still feel till today. This is the this is the niggun written by the Baal Shem Kodesh, the Maggid of Mizrich, and all that. The Shalosh Tnumis. Huh? Let's sing Baal Shem Tov's name one more time.
Miss Eretz Yisrael. Did you really? Look at this. You have this one. What year?
Now.
The one he's talking about is 87 years old right now.
She's still beautiful.
Inside. The inside. That's what the Rebbe would say.
One more nigga, and then has to get home. One of the first mashpia I ever had was one of Lewis's first mashpias also. One of the greatest Hasidim I ever knew. And that was Schwartzy, Shlomo Schwartz. Ava Shalom. I had the privilege of learning with him a lot when I was younger. He had a favorite nigga. And it's the weirdest thing that it kind of says everything about this nigga that only a Chabadsker can sing these words. Which one am I talking about? What words? It seems it's got to be a complete oxymoron, be a complete stira minei bay to sing.
You don't know stuff?
No. But I need help. I need help singing. I need help singing properly.
Oh, shit.
Help is alright.
You guys have to help me sing. These words don't make any sense that they're sung, but I saw him sing it once, and it explained to me the whole most of a chassid. The whole most of a chassid. Oh, hey, Nato, can we start it? Oh, hey, Nato, can we start it? Ten Hasidim just got into a room and they decided we're not gonna stop singing this niggun. It would be like the final removal of like whatever mechitza is still left. That means so you happen to be, you choose to be a god that keeps on playing hide and seek and you're winning. Or you're not winning, but you're not hiding. Who could sing such words? The pain you were speaking about before. only a chassid can take that pain of like feeling like you're a yatom and make a niggun out of it. So it must be that the only way to really get through is by singing Nigunim to pain like you were describing before. It's not stand that I think the only source in the Torah for Avelus, time-wise, is this parsha. Shloshim. Shloshim, when Aaron HaKohen dies, but each was Aaron Shloshim called Beis Yisrael. Right? Aaron HaKohen had such an impression on Yidden that they couldn't, it's not that they were commanded to cry for 30 days, they couldn't get a hold of their life. They couldn't move on after Aaron HaKohen died because he's sovereign. Of course he's sovereign. Who said before the Torah from the Bidum and that himself from Seder Egan?
How is it that Aaron made the Egel? How is it that Aaron made the Egel? It's like when you looked up in Yisrael and you realized if he didn't make the Egel, it would have been so much machlokas, and machlokas is worse than everyone's Torah.
Sovereign. So the person that sees them dies 30 days. By each was Aaron Shloshim Yom. Even though I don't remember the exact lashon of Moshe Rabbeinu is clear, it's not the same lashon of Kol Beis. What's that? Shloshim Yom. The makor that we know from the Torah is Shloshim Yom only by Aaron HaKohen, the Inyan of Shloshim. That's how halacha says. But by Moshe Rabbeinu's Ptira, it doesn't have the same lashon because as great as he was, there must have been a different sense of being seen like Aaron saw it. So we look at that pain and we say, okay, I'm going to sing it. It's too painful to actually say the words, so I'm just going to get on life by singing the most depressing mitzias that kind of exist. I don't know. To me, when I saw Schwartz, I saw him Kimat, like there's a video that went out right before he died. He was in his robe, in his chair there in Blue Avenue in LA. Sit, there's no, it's going to be Achin Ata Kel Mistatet. So, l'chaim to this illusion, down with the illusion. L'chaim to Schwartzy, l'chaim to the Shalom, l'chaim. Huh?
The illusion is what you is the cure.
That's why we give it a l'chaim. Right?
Saying that's what Adam was running from.
That's what?
That's what Adam had to run from. You can make it 8 a.m. there at Mish's house. That's a great for bringing it from Shabbos. We're doing the whole discussion now with you and Gracious. The time is like, yeah. What happened? Bemet. Adam was Chava. Changed the commandment. And this Kel starter. In a way, it's a gift. The time it says, you don't exist. How should we don't exist? The only way that we can have the harmony, this illusion that you say that we do exist, is Hashem like lessons.
L'chaim to B'chir.
There you go.
L'chaim Torah Chafalef. All one.
And now the camera's on.
No, it's on. It's on.
That's $1.
It's what?
$1.
L'chaim. I have to. L'chaim Torah L'Shoyim. L'chaim Shkoyach Tihuda and Tanya. Shkoyach.
We don't have to leave.
As
a matter of fact, you listen to me every morning. You listen.
Not but